Hampshire took charge of their crucial LV County Championship match with Kent on the second day in Canterbury, a day when Chris Wood celebrated his call-up to the four-day team by claiming the best figures of his career of 5 for 39. Wood had already played a major role on the first day, making 61 of his side's 343 for 7. Just 2 runs had been added to that when Sean Irvine was out before he'd added to his overnight 75, Doug Bollinger having him taken behind. That gave Sam Billings his 5th catch of the innings, and his 6th soon followed as the former Kent man Matt Coles nicked off to Mitch Claydon to go for 5 at 357 for 9. 23 more were added to that by the last pair of Danny Briggs and James Tomlinson, the former having the occasional swish before he was out to Adam Riley, as Hampshire ended their first innings on 380 with 3 wickets apiece for Riley, Bollinger and Claydon. Kent's reply didn't start well, with Daniel Bell-Drummond falling to Tomlinson on 2 in the 3rd over, LBW the decision. Tomlinson nearly grabbed a second, Ben Harmison just getting away with this slice drive, as both he and Rob Key began to get the measure of the visiting attack with some neat strokes, which saw 44 runs added for the second wicket in 12 overs. Nothing yet to suggest that this was going to be Hampshire's day, and Woods in particular. But the left-armer, playing in his first championship match of the season, then knocked over Harmison's off-stump after he chose the wrong ball to leave alone, before in his next over he stayed low on his follow-through to grab an excellent return catch to send Key on his way for 17 at 47 for 3. That became 64 for 4 9 overs later, as Fabian Cowdrey was another to misjudge the line and length of a delivery, this one from Coles, to be bowled. Kent have been in outstanding form in the last few weeks in both this competition and the 50-over one, but they were now in the rare position of being up against it. Darren Stevens played his natural game anyhow. He followed up that huge maximum off Briggs with some other 4s as he started to lead the fight back in the company of Sam Northeast, who held up the other end. Taking on all of the Hampshire bowlers with equal skill, Stevens began to take charge of an important 5th wicket partnership which appeared to be dragging this game back to restore parity. With both batsmen into the 40s, the total moved on to 149, Stevens and Northeast adding 85 runs in 18 overs together. But Kent never recovered from losing Northeast for 46 when he edged Irvine to Liam Dawson, one of the safest slippers in the business. Billings, who's been scoring outrageous runs for fun in the one-day arena, then fell for 3 in the next over, an inside edge off Wood, knocking out his off-stump. Irvine then did for Callum Haggett, who was left in 2 minds before offering Michael Carberry some catching practice at Gully. So now Kent were in trouble on 163 for 7 and looked to Stevens to get them out of a hole. He got to his 50 off his 51st delivery with his 8th 4 to go with his earlier maximum that had gone straight out of the ground. 231 was the target to avoid the follow-on, and Stevens took his side 6 runs close to that with this shot off Wood, who responded 3 balls later with a quicker and shorter ball that Stevens could only top-edge to Carberry to go for 64, with a total now on 185 for 8. Wood had never taken a 5-wicket haul in the championship until this moment, when Riley edged a rising delivery to Irvine before he troubled the scorers. Wood's 5 for 39 were the best figures of his career, Kent being dismissed in the next over for 191 as Claydon drilled a ball from Tomlinson to Will Smith. The lead for Hampshire stood at 189, but Jimmy Adams decided against the follow-on, using the remaining 24 overs of the day to add 57 more runs to that lead with Carberry, neither batsman having any problems in doing so, as they both made 26. So it's Hampshire who hold all the aces going into the second half of this contest. They'll start day 3 with a lead of 246, with all of their second innings wickets intact, and will hope to go on to win, to put distance between them and their opponents here in the second division table.